guys, this is Astro Dim here, giving you guys a quick chat about Mercury in Cancer. Yay! This is actually a great time, great transit, okay? I promise you, you're gonna like this, okay? So Mercury represents, your thoughts, your thought process and your communication and your community. While Mercury represents, home, comfort, your private moments, and your innermost, deepest emotions. Okay, it kind of represents karma too, so that's another thing. But with these two together, with Mercury being in Cancer, our thoughts and our communication, even our community, is going to be very, very nurturing to us. We're going to think happy and positive and nurturing things. We're going to speak it as well, and we're going to be loving and sweet. Now, this is the tricky part. We might be loving and sweet, okay? Most likely, yes, but we might be. The reasoning for that is with nurturing, you can give good love, and easy love, or tough love, like, rough and mean love. So when you think about it, kind of think of like if someone's is celebrating your birthday, and so they give you all the things that you love, even though it might be not the best for you health-wise. Like they make you your favorite comfort foods, give you chocolates and candies and cakes and all that stuff. But on an everyday basis, though, someone can nurture you by giving you like Brussels sprouts or another like vegetable that's not too yummy. Like, I love my vegetables, but like Brussels sprouts are not what's it, okay? Not for me, at least. Or if someone like is giving you someone giving you medicine that doesn't taste the best, but it's going to eventually make you feel better, but they are nurturing you, okay? So with Mercury in Cancer, your thoughts and your communication within yourself and with others can be easy love or tough love. It depends on, of course, the transits, your personal chart, and also it depends on just you as a person and your free will, okay? So it's up to you how you handle this energy specifically, okay? I do have my notes here, so I'm just going to take a little gander. Now, depending on where this depending on where this transit is within your chart, it can show you who is going to be nurturing you or who you're going to be nurturing, okay? So if it's between your first and your third house, you're going to be kind of nurturing yourself in some form or fashion. With the third house, a little bit tricky because your siblings are kind of a reflection of you. And so if it's in your third house, it's because it's like a mutable house, you could be nurturing yourself, but you can also have your siblings nurturing you too, because the third house represents your siblings. If this Mercury in Cancer is in your fourth through sixth house, it's going to be people that you kind of see on an everyday basis. They're going to be the ones that are nurturing you. So that could be your family, your children, your people at your work environment, people in your community that you see every day while doing your routine stuff. It could be just people that you randomly see. It could be a close bond, a not so close bond, just people that you just see often. If your Mercury in Cancer is going to be in your 7th through 9th house, this is going to be not only people, but ideas that you choose to be in your life. Those are going to be the things or people that's going to be nurturing you, or you are going to nurture specifically, okay? And if it's in your 10th through 12th house, then the masses is going to nurture you, or you're going to nurture the masses, big groups of people, whether it's the unconscious or the subconscious or the conscious, whatever, right? So with that being said, let's go talk about the decans of this transit, this Mercury in Cancer transit, okay? Now, the first decan is 0 through 9th degrees of Cancer, and that is represented by the moon. Woo-woo-woo. So this is when this nurturing element is the most potent. I know that you probably see this glow here, so sorry about that. Just want to let you know before I go on, okay? All right, so so with that being said, though, yeah, the energy is probably the most potent here. And your emotions are probably the most potent. You're going to be feeling naturally. You're going to kind of be speaking how you feel. And it's going to either nurture you or nurture others, depending on what needs to be said or needs to be like talked about. And of course, your where Mercury is in your chart specifically is going to kind of tell you where this is going to be. Okay. And so again, the energy is the most important. So you're probably going to be feeling the most emotions and speaking and thinking your emotions the most during this specific decade, which again is between 0 and 9 degrees Cancer. So when Mercury is in those degrees, you're going to be in your feels more than anything. Okay. Now, between 10 degrees and 19 degrees, when Mercury is in those degrees of Cancer, this is represented by Pluto. All right, so of course Pluto is a kind of an emotional type of planet as well, but not so emotional. Well, I'm like dancing. Not as emotional as the moon, so that's good. But the great thing about this is it is where these thoughts and emotions of you nurturing others or nurturing yourself, or are going to start really taking form and starting to really transform. It's going to be kind of in the process of the transformation. It's not going to kind of be the end result of it. Excuse me. It's not going to be like kind of like the end result or the actual product of the transformation. It's going to be what's happening during transformation. So you're going to be probably feeling the most uncomfortable about the emotions that you felt in the first decade of this transit. Okay. The thing is, with this transit, of course, and with Pluto energy, you're going to be feeling uncomfortable about what you have spoken on or what you said. The thing is that this overall, the Cancer in this transit is ruled by the moon, and the moon phases in and out. So it's going to be, your communication, your thought process is going to be quite tumultuous, just like the moon, going to be phasing in and phasing out. And so this is going to be the part where it starts phasing out. This is kind of the wax and wane part, if you will, of the transit. Okay. So it's going to be feeling up and down. You're going to be thinking about, oh, why did I say this, or why did I express this? But no worries, because we always have kind of like this cold feet type of energy when we speak on things. Just let it ride. It's been said. It's the past. There's nothing you could do about it. Just let the transformation happen. Okay. Lastly, the last decade is the Neptunian decade of Mercury and Cancer, which happens 20 degrees, between 20 degrees Cancer and 29 degrees Cancer. Okay. And here is when the magic happens. This is when we finally see the product of what we spoke on, and what we felt and what we kind of expressed during this Mercury and Cancer in the earlier decades. Okay. This is when our words and our thoughts become truly magical and creative, and things start to take form fully. And we can really start kind of making things happen creatively. And it's going to feel like kind of like we got like we kind of channeled information and we expressed it creatively, and we can finally express ourselves in a kind of cool, beautiful, romantic type of way, which will kind of soften the blow a bit if we kind of said some not so nice things earlier in the transit. You know what I mean? So this will be like a lovely time if you maybe said something kind of fucked up, or said something that you wish you didn't said. As you said earlier, this is when a great time where you can be creative and sweet and romantic and kind of gloss things over. Okay. But this is also going to be an amazing time to use your emotions to kind of go forward with some creative pursuits. It can really make some beautiful, beautiful work, and beautiful, and everything, thoughts, beautiful communication during this time. So take advantage of that, you know? Definitely take advantage. And yeah, that's basically all the decans. Now, I'm gonna get my notes again, right? I'm slowly panning out. And the reason why I am is because like actually what I'm gonna do is kind of talk about specific aspects that will be happening during this transit. Now, the interesting thing here is I'm gonna talk about when Mercury is in Cancer at 0 degrees, when Mercury in Cancer is at 15 degrees, and when Mercury in Cancer is at 29 degrees. Now, with aspects, right, this energy is going to last a little bit long, even though Mercury moves pretty fast. It's going to last some time, some days, because when we talk about aspects between planets, not really sun and moon, but with planets, they're usually aspects between 5 and 7 degrees. When it's the moon and sun, those are luminaries, so it's like 10 degrees or 10-degree orb. But you know, this energy is going to last long because it's not just going to be specifically at 0 degrees. It's going to be what is that, 0 degrees, 1 degree, 2 degrees, up to 7 degrees. Okay, so I just named some of the transits that I would love to speak on when it comes to this transit. What did I say, degrees? I'm going to talk about the aspects, that I want to talk the aspects that's going to be happening during this transit, so you guys can kind of really get a feel on what's going to be happening during Mercury in Cancer. Okay, all right. So I might have mentioned it earlier. I think I definitely mentioned it on my Twitter and on my Instagram. But this new moon in Gemini is going to be conjuncting Mercury, right, in the first decan when Mercury is in 0 degrees Cancer. And so this is actually a huge huge aspect. Okay, so both the luminaries, right, are going to be right on each other, and Mercury is going to be conjuncting it. With the new moon in general, the new moon is kind of like when we are really living our emotions, you know what I mean? Moon represents our deep emotions, like I mentioned before. And sun represents how we react to things and how we identify with things. So literally, the emotions that we feel, we're going to be reacting to it. We're going to express it, because the sun is our self-expression. And so we are literally being what we feel. With Mercury on here, it's going to kind of make this even way more stronger, and we're really going to think and speak how we feel too, for better or for worse. So if we're feeling crummy, we're going to be crummy, we're going to exude crummy, and we're going to speak and talk crummy. If we're feeling great, we're going to be doing all the same things, but not in a crummy way, in a great way. So that's how it's going to be expressed with this specific aspect. Okay, so it's really important, like the energies are there. It's going to be conjunctions are really neutral. So it really depends on how you are thinking and how you are feeling, and it's based on your free will how this energy is going to manifest. So try to be positive so things can happen to you positively. Okay, another aspect that's happening during the moon decant of this transit is Uranus is going to be sextiling Mercury. So Uranus is, sorry for the background noise, Uranus is in Taurus and Mercury of course in Cancer. And so this is interesting because with Uranus and Taurus, it kind of settles down and grounds Uranus a bit, because Uranus kind of represents sudden and random events, but it also represents kind of your uniqueness, your individuality, and also your kind of like the revolutionary side within you. So it's going to kind of ground it in a sense, and make sure you like cross your T's and dot your I's before you kind of move and express these things in kind of like a random matter, or you know what I mean? And so what's interesting here is, since it is sextiling Mercury, it's kind of like it's blending this nurturing and loving energy well within your individuality. So this is a great time or this is going to be a wonderful time for you to be accepting and confident and loving of your individuality, because thus it's going to strengthen your self-worth. Taurus represents self-worth, so and material worth. So it's going to kind of, your individuality and your kind of things that make you different is going to be nurtured with your thoughts. It's going to be nurtured with your words. And so again, lovely, lovely, lovely time for you to start accepting yourself and kind of showing the world that you are you and you're happy that you were you. With this energy, it will help that type of energy of you accepting yourself stick. Okay. The next aspect is that Chiron is going to be squaring this Mercury, with Chiron being in Aries. You know, we're going to be kind of focusing a little bit more on the past and childhood traumas that we have. And we're going to be the wounded part, but not the warrior part of Chiron, because Chiron represents wounded warriors. So we're going to be the wounded part. I said fart. Wow. Okay, we're going to be the wounded part of wounded warrior, but not the warrior part. We're going to be very, very focused. We're going to be thinking and speaking on the past traumas that we had, specifically when it has to do with Aries type things, which is our appearance, our drive, our motivation, our persona, our personality, those type of things. So we might be thinking of like past bullying, or ways in the past that like we've been hurt when it comes to our, again, appearance and our personality. We're not gonna really get out of those thoughts. So yes, it's good to reflect on your past, but don't live in them and don't be stuck on them. Okay, because with Mercury and Cancer, we're going to be really stuck on our emotions and stuck on like what we've been through, and we're going to be speaking it and talking it. And when you speak and think and talk things, you might manifest it to happen again, or manifest it to be in a depressive state. So tread lightly with this. Okay, try to be as critical and detached when you think about these thoughts. Of course, I'm an Aquarius dominant. Of course, I'll say be detached, right? But just do it, okay? And then lastly, with this part of the decade, the first decade of this transit, Mercury is going to be opposite Saturn. So the thing is, Mercury, we're going to be kind of a hermit. Not a hermit. Let me think of another thing. A crab, right? We're going to be a crab, where we're going to be like focused on home and our own thoughts and our own emotions, and you know, we're going to be kind of focused on that. But the thing is that Saturn is opposite of Mercury, and so Saturn wants us to be focused more on our responsibilities and our thoughts and the major life lessons we have on status recognition and your career. So you're going to be inside your shell, not wanting to come out, and being really focused on your thoughts and emotions, and being quite internal when Saturn doesn't want you to. So you're going to be really feeling like you're fighting, like there's a tug of war between you. One arm wants you to be external and extrovert, and one arm wants you to be internal and introvert. So you're going to be like kind of having this tug of war between you, and you're not going to know where to go and how to handle this. I have two sets of advice that is kind of opposite, but choose whatever resonates with you. Either focus on Mercury now, because Mercury transits are faster, and there's going to be Saturn and Capricorn for a while, so just focus on the Mercury. Go ahead, be that hermit just until the transit's over, okay? Which is the 29th, mind you, of June. Or do both, balance both, okay? Be the extrovert, try to build your status, and you know, take the responsibilities and understand the major life lessons that you're experiencing right now, and go ahead and be you know, use that to build your recognition and your status, and also take some time to be a hermit and reflect on your emotions and your thoughts, and how they're emotionally charged, and what you can do to like strengthen yourself and become emotionally intelligent, right? So that's a great phrase for Mercury and Cancer. Emotional intelligence, like that. Okay, I might use that for the title. All right, so for the second decade, there are 3 aspects that I'm noticing here. Mercury is going to be trining a retrograded Neptune. Oh my god, this is going to be lovely, okay? And so our thoughts and our communication and even the like our community, right, is going to blend so well with our spirituality and our self-undoing and the unknown, okay? We're going to be probably channeling loads and loads of information during this time, and we're going to be quite internal. So when planets are retrograding, we're not expressing it externally. We are actually under like kind of being internal with it, being quite introverted with all those feelings. So when it comes to our self-undoing, which are basically things that we do that we don't understand why we do it, it might not even understand that we're actually doing it, right? When it comes to that and just universal knowledge or the unknown or things like that, we are going to really nurture those ideas and try to use those ideas and thoughts to kind of better ourselves and become more spiritually mature, okay? And it's going to be happening with ease because it's trining. But the thing is with trines, right, things will be happening easily to the point where we think that, oh, I'm at a certain point and I'm good and I'm settled and I can do this later. I'm just going to let things happen as they happen. Don't do that. Don't be the typical lazy trine person, right? Really take advantage of this energy and channel as much information as you can so you can thus live a better life, okay? And you know, with Neptune representing spirituality, you can really become a stronger spiritual person through your thoughts and through your communication. So just practice it and really trying to channel this information so you're going to really be able to channel some lovely information during that actual aspect, okay? Mercury is also going to be trining retrograded Jupiter too, which is interesting. And it's going to be trining it on the other side in Scorpio. So again, like this is tricky with retrograded Jupiter, and I wish I actually made a video on it. I probably still might, okay, because it's going to be happening for a bit. A lot of people think when it's Jupiter's in retrograde that you're not going to get abundance. That is not the case. You will get abundance and you can get abundance, but it's internal. You have to think and speak positively and speak on your abundance, speak on your prosperity, and it will happen. You can't do during this transit. You have to, like, you can't like externally do things. You can't like physically do things. You have to work from within. Retrograded planets is basically you kind of learning how to work from within and understand yourself from within. Now with this trining Mercury, that's literally the within, your thoughts and how you communicate and your thought processes. So this is like, it's trining it. So it's going to make you manifest things on such a dope level and such a high level. Guys, do not miss out on this. Please don't, because you can literally make things happen like this. I'm telling you. Because you're going to be, again, like you're already internalizing this strong transformative this energy, because, you know, Jupiter has been retrograding in Scorpio for a while. But then you're going to, like, with it trining in Cancer, you're going to be really like thinking and communicating in such a loving and nurturing manner, and it's going to make you positive, think positive and speak positive, and thus you're going to get positivity and get gifts from Jupiter. So yeah, don't miss out on that, okay? Please don't. And then lastly with this decade, which is the Pluto decade, which is interesting. So it's really going to be a lot of transformative shit there, just to let y'all know. But with this Pluto decade is Mercury is going to be opposite Pluto. So this is actually quite interesting. You're going to be really like thinking about kind of being comfortable, which really it kind of reminds me to really, guys, please take advantage of those trines that are happening with Mercury between Neptune and Jupiter. Do not be so comfortable, because this aspect is literally saying that you're going to be like, try to fight this, okay? You're going to be so focused on comfort and being at home and kind of being private, while, you know, Pluto wants you to, again, transform your life through your status, and transform your life through through how you're recognized within the world. Like, do the things that you have to do to get that recognition and status that you want. And to do that, because Pluto's in Capricorn, you have to go out there. You have to be recognized. You have to get that status, right? And so you're not going to be wanting to do that. You're going to be wanting to be private and be at home and being too internal and too comfortable. Which again, like, it just really stresses that you really need to find a balance between the two. Yes, take advantage of being internal and focusing on within, but don't be so comfortable that you don't even, like, when you're done with all this, you don't even know how to work within that, like, outside world. You know what I mean? Again, find the balance, y'all. Find the balance. Don't be too comfortable. Don't be too lazy. Work with the energies that are happening during this decade, okay? And then lastly, with the last decade, when Mercury's in 29 degrees, Mercury's going to be conjuncting North Node. So with this actual aspect, Mercury's going to be in 29 degrees, but North Node's going to be in like 6 or 5 degrees Leo, right? And so you're going to really be nurturing you're going to nurture yourself, and you're going to nurture your, like, thoughts and communications when it comes to your self-expression. So you're going to kind of really transform into this self-expressive way. It's you're not just going to do this just in general. You're going to do this when it comes to your life lessons. You're going to figure out what you need to do to be more self-expressive, to get you closer to your life path and to your destiny, okay? To where you need to be, to where you need to go. Like, how do I need to be self-expressive to get to my life path, to get to where I need to be in life, okay? And so you could be self-expressive in so many different ways. It really does depend on how, like, what your North Node is and what your destiny and passion and path is, okay? So you're really just going to be speaking your destiny and speaking your life path, okay? And thinking about it a lot too. It's funny because this next aspect is like almost the opposite of what I was just speaking on in the first about the first decade. Mercury is going to basically go from sextiling Uranus to squaring Uranus, okay? So remember how I said before that you're going to be really thinking a lot about your individuality and how that can kind of up your self-worth. In this aspect, you're going to be it's basically telling you not to focus too much on your individuality anymore, your self-worth. Kind of get yourself out of that. Like, don't be so focused on your individuality anymore. You had your time. Now you need to kind of, it's telling you now you need to focus on the outside world and the external world. And this is probably a better time now to focus on you know, now I kind of like build myself up, made myself realize I'm an awesome individual, and my kind of uniqueness makes me me. Now I need to do something about it, okay? Now I need to actually put some work on it. And then it's funny because, like, when I think of Uranus too, I think of the present and the future. And so, like, again, like and while it was sextiling, you were focusing more on how you are currently and how you're going to be, like, future-wise. And that was telling you to, like, not focus on that and focused on your past and building from your past. And the reason why I say that is because the next transit is this Mercury is going to be trining Chiron. So remember how in the first decade that it was actually squaring Chiron, and when it was squaring Chiron, you was really focusing on your childhood and your past and being stuck on it. But now, since Mercury is going to be trining the Chiron, you're going to be kind of, again, not focusing on the past, not focusing on the pain from the past, right? But you're going to focus on, and actually, let me say this again. You're not going to focus on the pain from the past. You're not going to focus how you are now and how you're going to be are in the future. You're going to be focusing, okay, how can I take what's happening, what happened to me in the past, and build myself up so I can help others after, like help others that kind of went through the same situations that I've been through. You get what I'm saying? So you're not going to be focused so focused on yourself no more. You're going to be focused on how you can help people from what you've been through. Because while Chiron was actually squaring Mercury, you were not only focused on the past and everything, but you were kind of using it to kind of think about how you are today, and how it kind of changed you. So with it trining it, you're going to start thinking more positively and speaking more positively on those things and helping other people who went through the similar things that you went through, so they won't have to go through as much agony and have as much wounds as you've done before, as you've had, you know what I mean? Or as you currently have, because of the things that you went through. Remember, having wounds is not bad. Chiron is the wounded warrior. So yes, you're fighting, you're helping, you're being the revolutionary. Yes, you have wounds, but they've healed, right? They've healed. The wounds are still there, the scratch is still there, but they have healed, and now you're going to use those wounds to make sure that people won't have as much wounds, and people can actually heal the wounds that they have currently, okay? All right. That's it, y'all. That's what Mercury in the Cancer is going to give you. If you have any questions at all, holla at me, please. I love talking to you guys. Just a couple of plugs here. Please comment, like, subscribe, share, care, all that good stuff. I have a podcast called My Bed and Astrology. It's in almost everywhere except for Spotify and Tidal. iTunes, Google, Pocket Cast, Stitcher, Radio Public, almost everywhere except for Spotify and Tidal. I'm working on it though, okay? So go listen to that. Again, it's called My Bed and Astrology by Astro. Check it out. It's great. I talk about kind of unique and cool subjects that usually people don't talk about, and kind of concepts that I kind of thought of myself too. So yeah, check it out, man. I've been working on astrology and studying astrology since I was 14, so I have enough knowledge that I like to spread to you guys, okay? What else? Follow me on Twitter. My name is Astro there, but I think my actual handle is IMMIDDIMMI. My first name backwards and frontwards. Again, IMMIDDIMMI. Okay, I'm Astro on _Astro on Instagram, and you can email me too at 7thHighEntertainment@gmail.com. That's the number 7 THIGHENT @gmail.com. I think I got everything. Oh, my snap is 7/IMMID, I believe. Okay. All right, y'all. I hope you enjoyed. I'm gonna start doing more videos, I promise you, okay? I will. And it was great talking to you guys. And have a happy Mercury in Cancer, okay? Bye.